Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
It is time.
It's time!
It's time!
It's time once again for me to hop into the passenger seat and let you take the Hollywood graveyard wheel to visit famous and historical graves in your neck of the woods. It's time for round 3 of the Viewer's Special. So, if you've followed our channel for a while, you know how this works. We're opening up to submissions from you, the Hollywood graveyard community, for videos of famous graves in your neck of the woods for our Viewers Special series. The link to the submission form is in the description below. Also in the description below is a link to the filming and submissions guidelines. Please read through those guidelines to make sure everything is done correctly, because if not, I may not be able to use your footage. First and foremost, if you're filming with your camera phone, as I imagine most of you will, be sure to film horizontally. If you film vertically, like TikTok, we can't use your footage. So be sure to film horizontally. Film in full HD, 1080p. No 4K, please. I know 4K sounds glamorous, but I learned a hard lesson last time that 1,000 4K videos can quickly blow up a computer. Film for about 30 to 45 seconds total. Start by giving us a nice surrounding context view like this, and then move in on the grave that you want to film, moving nice and smoothly. Once you have the grave framed, stop and hold for about 15 seconds. Hold very still. The temptation for a lot of people is to move around and look around like you would with your eyes, but don't do that. Hold nice and still for about 15 seconds so that we can read the grave. If there are multiple points of interest, you can then move in, maybe closer so that it's legible. Hold for another 10 seconds or so. And pull up and look away. When walking toward the grave or through the cemetery in general, make sure the camera is facing forward, level with the horizon, and not pointed down. You want to avoid things like digital zoom because that can degrade the quality. So if you need to get closer, just move closer. If you can't move closer, optical zoom is fine too. Some cell phones have multiple zoom lenses like this, and those work too. You'll also want to avoid things like your shadows and reflections in the shot. So in cases like this, where I can see my shadow in the shot, I'll move to a different angle, or if that's not possible, sometimes I'll film from much farther away, like this, and then just zoom in using a longer lens. And there, now my shadow's no longer in the shot. We'll also need lots of B-roll footage, which is just general cemetery footage. And if you'd like to make a cameo, like I sometimes do at the beginning of the videos, turn the camera on yourself for a nice cameo shot of yourself walking through the cemetery, and we'll include that as well. And as with our previous Viewers Specials, we're opening up to historical figures of all walks of life, not just Hollywood stars. And we'll also accept strange and unusual tales from your local graveyard if there are interesting graves or interesting stories that can be part of our Strange and Unusual series. Over the past 7 years since Hollywood Graveyard began, we've literally visited thousands of graves. And I wouldn't expect you to remember all of them. I certainly can't remember all of them myself. So if you'd like to check if the person you'd like to submit has already been featured on our channel, I've created a Hollywood Graveyard master spreadsheet. That link is also in the description. You can check that spreadsheet to see if the person you'd like to submit has already been included in a Hollywood Graveyard video. If they have, we likely wouldn't include them again. An exception would be if perhaps they have had a new grave marker placed. Multiple submissions are accepted. You can submit as many videos as you'd like. But be sure to keep the videos to around 30 to 45 seconds. Any longer than that, they might be larger than the 100 megabyte file size limit that our form can accept. And don't edit the footage in any way. Just send it exactly as you film it. I'll be doing all the editing, and I'll also be doing all the voiceover work, so you don't need to worry about any voiceovers either. We'll be accepting submissions for the next month. The deadline is April 1st. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Until then, I can't wait to see where you take us.